Okay, so in this part, we have multiple choice. This is multiple choice questions. And then we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we have these 5 questions. And then you see that everything is long, long, long. This is one part that many people do not enjoy. But I just want to say that the trick for this part, or the key to understanding multiple choice questions, is to make sure that you understand exactly what the question is asking you about. So let me just take this off. Okay, so now we have, when reporters in New Zealand met Shiraz, they were what? So it means that we're talking about some reporters, okay, and they were in New Zealand. They met a particular person or a thing or something. They were something, okay? So were they concerned about this? Were they impressed with this? Were they certain he was unaware of this? Were they surprised by the bravery he demonstrated? So it's a case of, when these people met this, how did they feel? So we need to go and look for where reporters were mentioned, where Shiraz was mentioned, and then the attitude of the reporters to this person. So that's what we're interested in. Then for 10, what are we told about the captain of the Canine Maru in the 5th paragraph? This one is very easy. We just need to go and count the 5th paragraph. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This particular paragraph is where we need to find the answer for number 10. 11. After Shiraz finally reached Antarctica, he realized that what? So we need to find where this person's name was mentioned with the location Antarctica, and what did he learn? For number 12, what is the writer doing in the 7th paragraph? Now, if this was paragraph, let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6. So now, how did they, okay, no, this is 5 because this ended here and this started a new one. So this will be paragraph 5 for this one, and then this is 6 and 7. So this is 7. So we just need to find out what is the writer doing here. We need to read this entire paragraph and figure out what the writer was doing in that paragraph, okay? And then the final one, 13, says, what is the writer's main point in the final paragraph? What is the writer's main point in the final paragraph? So we need to read the main point in this. This is still paragraph 7. So we need to find out what his main point is. So let's go back to number 9 and start. When reporters in New Zealand met Shiraz, were they concerned about the quality of his equipment? Were they impressed with the design of his ship? Were they certain he was unaware of the dangers ahead? Were they surprised by the bravery he demonstrated? So let's go and look for reporters in New Zealand and then Shiraz. So we're going to be looking for, let's look for Shiraz. Okay, so we have Nobu Shiraz. And then let's look for reporters. Let's look for reporters. So we have explorers. We have explorers. So we have explorers. Let's see if they're going to use the word reporters exactly. Let's see. So like the British presented is this as a search for this. It would bring back this. The response from the government was this. With this, Shiraz got this. So we're looking for reporters. Okay, so we see it's plans to the media. Okay, so media means we might be close to finding reporters. It would sail to this, then reach, okay. So, yeah, see, in New Zealand, good. Local reporters were astonished. Astonished means surprised. The ship was half the size of Amundsen's ship. Okay, so they are surprised. The local reporters were surprised about this, you know, it was half the size. They were astonished. So let's go and look for where, you know, they were astonished. Yeah, let's see. We have concerned about the quality of his equipment, impressed with the design of his ship, certain he was unaware of the dangers ahead, surprised by the bravery he demonstrated. So let's read fully because they've not yet met him. So we're interested in when they met him. Okay, so we have few doubted Shiraz's courage, but most reckoned the expedition to be ill-prepared. As the Japanese had only lightweight sledges for transport across the ice, made of bamboo and wood. Okay, so it means that they were astonished, but they've not yet met him. Now, when they met him, it says few of them doubted him. They doubted his courage. Now, this part, when they talked about courage, where's the place where they talked about courage? Yeah. Surprised by the bravery he demonstrated. No, they were not surprised at the bravery he demonstrated. So we are eliminating D, okay? Because what they are saying is they doubted his courage, right? But then it says most. So we're going to be interested in information of most. It says most reckoned the expedition to be ill-prepared, as the Japanese had only lightweight sledges for transport across the ice. So it looks as if they felt it didn't make a good decision. They were worried about how it would get across, okay? So it means if they were worried, they said they were certain it was unaware of the dangers ahead. No. Impressed with the design of the ship. No. Concerned about the quality of his equipment. Exactly. Concerned because it says they reckoned the expedition to be ill-prepared, as the Japanese had only lightweight sledges for transport across the ice made of bamboo and wood. So it felt like these things were not good enough to make that journey. Okay, so they were concerned about the quality of his equipment. So our answer for 9 is A. Okay, so even though we saw astonished initially here, it is the ship that they were astonished at. It is not him. So that's why you should be interested in when they met him, not when they saw his ship. Okay, so don't get it wrong. The answer for 9 is A. Okay, so that is it. Now let's do 10. What are we told about the captain of the Canaan Maru in the 5th paragraph? So this is the 5th paragraph. Now we're looking for the captain of the Canaan Maru. So let's look for the captain. Where's the Canaan Maru? Canaan Maru. Okay, so this is Canaan Maru, yeah? This is Canaan Maru mentioned here. So how did they label their paragraphs? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this ends here, full stop 4. Okay, so this is 4. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this would be 7. This would be 8. So this is actually 5. So this is Canaan Maru. So we are looking for the captain. What are we told about the captain? So we are looking for the captain. The captain had ever seen. So let's see. Let's read it from a good place. Nevertheless, on 11 February, the Canaan Maru left New Zealand and sailed. Okay, T left New Zealand and sailed straight into the worst weather the captain had ever seen. Okay. Then on this, they approached the coastline of Antarctica's Ross Sea, looking for a place to land. The ice began to close in, threatening to trap them for the winter, an experience no one was likely to survive. With a remarkable piece of seamanship, the captain steered the ship out of the ice and turned north. They would have to wait out the winter in a warmer climate. So it means that it was skilled. It was able to avoid the situation. So I think our answer is B. His skill at sailing saved the boat and crew. His skill at sailing saved the boat and crew. Our answer for 10 is B. Okay, 11. After Shiraz finally reached Antarctica, he realized that what? What did he realize when he reached Antarctica? So you see, finally reached Antarctica. That's what we have here. Shiraz and 6 men finally reached Antarctica. Catching up with Scott or Amundsen was out of the question, and he had said he would stick to science this time. Yet Shiraz still felt the pull of the pole and eventually decided he would head southward to experience the thrills and hardships of polar exploration he had already dreamed of. With provisions for 20 days, he and 4 men would see how far they could get. Okay, so what did we have? He was unsure of the direction he would follow. He would have to give up on fulfilling his personal ambition. He might not have enough food to get to the South Pole. He still wanted to compete in the race against the other team. So what was his concern? He would head southward to experience. It says with provision for 20 days, he and 4 men would see how far they could go. Okay, they could get. So he wasn't sure that he had enough to take care of them. He wasn't sure. So he said, it says he was unsure of the direction he should follow. No. It says he eventually decided he would head southward. So he knew where he was going. He would have to give up on fulfilling his personal ambition. No. He said he would experience the thrills and hardship of polar exploration he had always dreamed of. So he's following his dreams. He still wanted to compete in the race against the other teams. Where do we have that information here? That's not even here. Okay? And then you have, he might not have enough food to get to the South Pole. Yes. So he actually did not go to the South Pole. but he went in this direction, and it says, with provision for 20 days, he and 4 men would see how far they could get. So they just wanted to manage what they have. So the answer for 11 is C. He might not have enough food to get to the South Pole. So he decided to just, head southward to experience this. Okay, so our answer for number 11 is C. Okay, so let's do 12. What is the writer doing in the 7th paragraph? This is the 7th paragraph, this is the 8th one. So let's read. But let's prepare our mind. Is he criticizing a decision concerning scientific research? Is he explaining why a particular mistake had occurred? Is he describing the conditions that the expedition faced? Is he rejecting the idea that Shiraz was poorly prepared? So let's see. Shiraz set off on 20 January 1912 with Takeda and 2 dog antlers, leaving 2 men at the edge of the ice shelf to make meteorological measurements. For a week, they struggled through one blizzard after another, holding up in their tents during the days. The temperature fell. The frostbite claimed this. On January 26, Shiraz estimated there were enough provisions to continue for 2 more days. 2 days later, he announced it was time to turn back. Takeda calculated they had reached 80 degrees 5 south and had traveled 250 kilometers. The men hoisted the Japanese flag. Okay, so it looks like he was describing something. Yeah, describing the conditions that the expedition faced. This was easy to find because it was describing this and that and this and that. So the answer for 12 is C. So now we have 13. What is the writer's main point in the final paragraph? This paragraph 8. Considering the problems Shirazi had to deal with, his achievement was incredible. Is that what the writer is saying? In Japan, the reaction to Shirazi's adventure in Antarctica came as a surprise to him. Okay, it was obvious that Amundsen would receive more attention as an explorer than Shirazi. Okay, Shirazi had achieved more on the Antarctic expedition than even he had expected. Okay, let's read what the writer said. On 30 February, all the men were heading home. The ship reached Tokyo in June 1912, and Shirazi was greeted like a hero despite the fact that he never reached the pole. Nor did he contribute much to science, but then, nor did Amundsen, whose only interest was in being first to the pole. Yet Shirazi's expedition was heroic. Okay, so I think he was saying that his achievement was incredible. Yeah, because it says it was heroic. Okay, they traveled beyond 80 degrees south, one of only 4 teams to have gone so far south at that time. Furthermore, they did it all without the advantages of the other teams and with no previous experience. So it means that he had some problems here. Considering the problems Shirazi had to deal with, his achievement was incredible. So our answer for number 13 is A. So you see, the question made it easy for us to know what to look for. So if you can pay attention to the question, you would actually find the answers that you need, okay? So this is all for multiple choice. I will see you in another video.